I'm so excited to share this with you. I bet you can hear the excitement in my voice. I'm just so proud of what we can do these days. Now some people would call me a traitor. I've been a graphic designer for 25 years. I can draw anything from complete scratch. There's nothing that you can imagine and describe to me that I can't draw an appealing version of, and I know that for a fact. But I am a huge early adopter of AI. So I just want to show you what we can do. And, some people would call it stealing. Other artists, especially my artist companions, would say it's stealing. I don't believe it is. Today is St. Patrick's Day. So, let's look at some St. Patrick's Day images. Okay, and we can literally just start out by going to Google. And here's the thing that's funny. It is stealing, and we all steal. That's what's so crazy. Every single artist I've ever known, I've caught them, copying over, tracing over things, looking at something and drawing. But the bottom line is, we've got AI to do that for us now, and we can just do it so much better. And we can do whatever we want. So, as far as subscriptions, the only subscription that I think anybody should ever have right now, if they're on a budget, I would probably have Photoshop first. But if I have Photopea. So if I only had to choose one, if I was on a super limited budget, I would just subscribe to ChatGPT. But you can play with it, and you can get some things started with it for free. You don't have to pay anything, So you saw what I did. I just looked up something, and I've just pasted it in here, okay? And so I'm going to tell it I want a better version of this sketch of mine. Please refine this design and add some details, Okay. Yeah, I'm going to tell it, especially the gold buckle. I'd like it to be more shiny. Yeah. And then I'm going to say, isolate the design on white. I like to tell it crisp, clean lines. And I'm going to tell it vector art style, because I'm a vector artist. I like vectors, okay? And then I'm going to choose create image just so it knows what to do. Sometimes when I tell it vector art style, it'll try to render me an SVG, and it really can't do a good job of that. And what has it done? I think exactly what I asked it to. We've got a shinier gold buckle. We've just got a few more details. It's not perfect. It's AI. It's never going to be perfect. But let me tell you, if I tried to draw this, you can imagine the amount of hours that I would spend even having the skill. Something like this is probably, it definitely would take me more than a day of work. I could do it in a 16-hour day, something like that. But, here I am with a finished image that looks nice. And, the thing about AI is you don't want to ask it to do everything all at once. So that's where a lot of people will do too much. Okay, so now what we could do is we could say, can you make me a clean, I would say clean logo design that, let me think. I can't think and talk and type. Okay, so I've got my prompt. Can you make me a clean logo design that matches the colors of this image and just says the words Luck of the Irish, rimmed in black, mostly green with gold accents, vector art style, isolated on white. Boom. Takes about 10-20 seconds to do a render. Okay, and I don't particularly love this, but it's fine. And so I'm just going to download that. And I got my little gnome downloaded here. And I'm just going to see, this is the important part. So you want to name these, okay? You want to stay organized. I know I'm not doing a great job of keeping my downloads folder clean. I've just been rushing through lots of artwork, but I clean it out every single morning. But but I'm going to name this image, and I'm just going to call it. Luck. Oh, the Irish. I want something descriptive that I can remember. What is that? Is that a leprechaun? All right, let's call it a leprechaun. I am struggling with how to spell leprechaun. I have done it. All right, and then I'm just going to copy that. Oh, I got an extra little O in there. All right, and I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to call this logo. All right, so I've got my two pieces that I want to work with. All right, so I'm just going to open up Upscale, select my image. Let's open it. We're going to go, I'm going really big. I'm going to go 6x. And then, we're going to do, and this goes fast on my computer because I've got a nice computer. I really recommend having a good computer. It's just really worth it for this type of work. So here's where it gets fun. Now I'm going to use Photoshop, but you can totally use Photopea, okay? I'm just going to use Photoshop because I'm so spoiled, and it's just really hard for me to, especially when I'm on video, I feel awkward using Photopea. I can certainly get it done. I don't want to make you think that you can't do it. Everything I'm about to do in Photopea, but I'm just awkward in it, and it makes me embarrassed when I'm trying to teach. Okay, so I think that we've got this image up here. I'm going to turn it into a smart object. Okay, so I'm actually going to do layer from background. That's just making it not a fixed background image anymore. And then I'm going to convert it to a smart object. And then I'm going to pull in that other logo that I've got upscaled and drop it in. And just because I already had a document started and then I've just pulled it in, Photopea works the same way. I just dropped it on the stage. It automatically made it a smart object. And here's the thing that's important. A lot of people just try to use whatever AI gives them. And, that's what makes us artists is we don't do that. That's really what I have to say about that. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to grab this O and this text in here. So I've got my magic wand. I got my tolerance at 80. And I'm just going to grab that. I'm going to hit Control C and Control Shift V. So now I've just got that black text isolated. See? Okay, and then I'm just going to get rid of a lot of the rest of this inside. So I've got my starting point, and I'm ready to start making my own art, is what I'm doing here. So I'm just going to draw. I'm just going to, wipe that out, right? I don't like that. I'm going to smooth that off. I'm going to leave that little yellow. I don't need all this extra. AI loves to do this. They love to. So I'm painting with a brush. I've got a white brush. And AI loves to just make all sorts of problems. One of the things that's really nice about the modern day and why this is so much easier than this was, say, 5-10 years ago or 20 years ago, is because not only do we have AI, we've also got upscale. So just like in the movies, we can actually enhance things now. And that's tremendous. That actually saves me so much time. And it's really nice to just be able to upscale something so that we can get in real close and draw the way we want to, okay? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to select around this, okay? So I'm just showing you this one part of this image. I'm not going to take way too much time. I'm just going to kind of go after it and just show you how you can alter things. So I'm going to select that, and then I'm just going to use my paintbrush again, okay? Oh my gosh, I've been drawing on the wrong layer this whole time. A little embarrassed. Let me merge this back down, okay? So I'm going to make this layer from background. I just get excited. I'm going to hit Control E to merge the layer. So what happened is I cut that black off, and I was so proud of that. Then I started drawing on that layer, okay? I just got excited. Control C, Control Shift V. All right. Now I'm going to put a color overlay on this because if you zoom in and look at this, there's going to be small color variations. Your eye can probably not hardly even see it, but if I click here, I get 121709, and if I click there, I get 090 EOD. So they're both blacks, but it's not pure black. So I'm just going to do blending options. I'm going to do color overlay. I'm going to make it pure black. It is. Okay, okay. And then we come back out here. Yeah, I'm going to turn that off. So I just turned that layer off, and I'm on the right layer now. And I'm just going to select all the way around this. I see my little yellow bits that I've left. I'm going to clear that up. All right, so I'm going to grab that, and I'm just going to paint over it. So I'm going to grab my paintbrush. It's really big. It's still white. Boom, Control D. And I did all that so that I could just click here once. I see that it's having a problem with some little parts here. I'm using my lasso tool to select those. So a lot of life for me is making selections, color selections and refining selections. So, okay, so I've got that in there. All right, so I can actually select, modify. I can expand it by like 2 pixels. Yeah, let's just go 1. And so now I'm just inside the lines, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit delete. Actually, I'm going to select this little bit of yellow that I see right here. Now, I'm being really picky, and I'm taking a long time, and I don't want that to scare you. Like, nobody has to be as picky as I am. You can certainly do this without that. I also don't like this, the way this looks back here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a pen tool, and I'm going to draw this in. So I'm trying to use all the tools in rapid succession to just show you what's possible, okay? So I don't understand why the AI decided to draw this way. So I'm just going to draw in my own little shape here to just kind of fix that up. All right? And I'm just going down here, doop, 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 and then I'm going to pull that behind. And then I can tweak the shape however I like. So it's got a stroke on it. I don't want a stroke. And I can just kind of adjust that shape and where it falls. And just say, all right, that's how I'm treating my my little eye. And then I can blend it in. All right, so I'm just going to select that shape. And that's gonna keep my selection area to that area. And I'm going to alt select this color right here, and I'm just going to blend all that in. So see how that just kind of is cleaning all that up, making that all a smooth color. And I'm just checking to see, yeah, that's good enough right there. Now I'm going to merge that down, okay? Just merge it down. And then I'm going to control click this layer that's going to control me and keep things on this layer. And then I'm just going to like smooth that out. So I just kind of use that as a mask, as an edge, so that I could draw over that real fast. And then we'll turn on our and I'm going to scooch it. I'm just scooching things just a bit. I want to scooch this, not the main layer. Okay, I can transform it a little bit. I can make it a little smaller if I wanted it to. Scoot it around, do whatever I need to with it. And then I'm going to do blending options, and I'm going to put a really nice, smooth gold stroke on the outside. So let's just use this gold color, all right? So that went on the inside. I'm going to do outside, and I'm just going to go just a little bit, okay? Boom, so I got a little stroke on it. Pretty happy with that. Now, AI loves to draw way too much, and I don't mind these little placements of these little shamrocks and stuff. But I do mind all this busyness. Like, come on. So I'm just going to I'm holding shift. And what I'm doing is, since I selected around, and maybe I'll leave that one. Okay. Since I selected around the outside there, my selection is, I'm adding to the selection to pick up all these other elements. So I'm just holding shift before I click with my lasso tool. That's what this is called. Okay, we'll leave that one. We'll leave that one. We'll take that one on the inside there. So what we're doing is we're just picking up what we want to keep and getting rid of what we don't. And, like I said, AI is super busy. Okay, now I just made a mistake. I kind of dipped in there, so I could Control Z that. So I'm going to hold Shift. Maybe we'll leave one of those dots. We'll leave 2 of them. I'm just picking the rounder ones. No idea why we have this big black circle out here. Let's just ditch that. Alright, so we'll keep those stars. We'll get rid of this. We don't need all that. Let's get rid of all that. Let's get rid of this little dangling guy. We'll leave that one circle. Okay, so now we're going to cut down on some of that. Now I'm going to do select, modify, expand, and I'm going to get in tighter. You always want to get in tighter so that you get right inside the edge of something. You know, so I'm just barely, if I look at it, I'm just barely inside the edge. That's going to keep me from having like a white outline around the outside. I'm going to select this, and I'm just going to hit delete and do Control D. I don't know what this is supposed to be right here. I don't like it. I'm going to select, let's lower our tolerance. I'm going to do 40. And I'm going to select right here. Okay, and then I'm going to do Control-Shift-I. So now I'm like just inside this green. But I'm also going to do select, modify, and we're going to do, I think, contract about 1 pixel. No, I need to expand. Sorry, I'm pushing out. Select, modify, expand. Let's just go 1 pixel all the way around. And we're just going to pick up this color right here, and we'll just draw some of that in. And then we'll pick up this color, and we'll just smooth that out. I'm just trying to make this look a little less odd through here, you know. And I'm just in the shape. Whoops, whoops, whoops. I see the mistake I just made. I caught it. I know you saw it. I got into that yellow over there, and I didn't want to do that. All right, so let's kind of fix that little weird thing. So I'm just looking for anything that bothers me and getting rid of it, okay? And I like having this little open space in here. I think that's nice. It's going to let the shirt color come through. And if I wanted to, I could go and replace these. You know, so I've got full control of my artwork at this moment, you know. All right, so let's just combine all this down. I'm going to delete this shape. Control E, everything's down. I'm going to trim it, all right? And then I'm going to save it. And you're going to remember we were over here, it's saving. Now that it's saved, it's actually saved onto this layer, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing with this little guy. So I'm just going to go in here. I'm going to grab him, okay? I'm just hitting it with the magic wand tool. Now I've selected something I don't want to right here. And so I'm just going to get in tight, real tight. And I can just hold Alt and draw in between there and down like this. See how I just kind of sniped inside? And I'm being careful and going slow where I need to be. I also have my mouse speed turned way down. So one of the reasons I'm able to do these things is I've got a really smooth mouse speed. And so I just wanted to fix his ear there. I don't know if I see any other things. I guess I'm going to keep his shadow. I guess so. But if I do, I need to make sure I keep the shape nice. So we'll just draw that in. Okay. And I don't know that I need this little extra piece out here. And see, like little things like this. Like, I don't think we want to use these shamrocks because we got different looking shamrocks on our other drawing. So on our other element. So we're responsible for making a cohesive image by combining these different elements. And so I'm just going to ditch all of these shamrocks. And if I want to use shamrocks here, I'm going to pull them over from that other drawing. And I think, you know, I'm just looking at these and looking at those, and I think I like those shamrocks better. So, boom, boom, boom. Let's get rid of all our shamrocks. I'm really always worried about these shadows. I never know if I should keep them or ditch them. You know, we'll keep them this time. I'm pretty happy with the shape of it and all that. Okay, so let's call that done. And I'm just going to do that select, modify, expand. Just 1 pixel. I'm going to delete. And then I'm going to do Control D to deselect. And I immediately see a problem. I left a little hole over here. Boom. Select, modify, expand. 1 pixel. Delete. All right. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to grade myself by putting a solid black behind it. And if there's any peaking whites, I'm going to know right now. And there's some right there. So how do we fix that? We just do control click on this layer, okay? And then we're just going to grab the brush tool, and I'm going to grab this color, and I'm just going to paint it out. All right, that didn't work out great. I need to make a little more structure there so that it looks natural. And if I want to put it in a little stroke of some other color, and then when we zoom out, it's going to look natural, and it's going to be fine. All right, and let's call that a cut. I think I'm happy with it, so I'm just going to delete this layer. You got to merge everything down if you started with a PNG, so I'm just merging everything down and then hitting Control S, and we'll go back to our original, and now he's got his background off, and literally we're just going to do our composition. So these are smart objects, so I can scale them down and scale them up without fear, okay? No, I can't scale them up, excuse me. They're as big as they are, I think. But I can scale them down and then scale them back up if I want to without worrying. Now what I didn't do, escape, I didn't trim him. So let's do that. Image trim, transparent pixels, Control S, and we'll go back to our main. And now when I transform him, it's just, this is the leprechaun. This is the logo. Alright, now when I transform him, it's just right, the bounding box is just right around him. So I'm holding Alt, and that's making that scale that way, okay? Yeah. It's going to be a really tall design. Alright, so I'm just not going to worry about it going off the stage because I'm just going to do canvas size, click the bottom, and so it's anchoring to the bottom, and I'm going to add like 600 pixels at the top. And now, I don't really love it, but that's what design is, right? Is we're just like figuring out what we want to do. Yeah, okay, I do love it. Never mind. I just saw his cute little face, and I was like, oh, I love it. All right. So we can just play around. I'm selecting both of these layers and moving them around. Oh, I've got auto select on. That's screwing me up. It happens every time when I get confused. Yep. There's my little leprechaun. Oh, I like this. I kind of wish this was on the other side. I wonder if I can flip him. Edit, transform, flip horizontal. Oh, yeah. Oh, that works better. Look how cute that is now. And see, now I'm wishing those stars and things were not there because they're like getting on top of him. All right. Well, anyway, now I'm just sitting here playing and trying to make a drawing. But anyway, this is my drawing, and you saw me make it, and it's super easy. And I did it in like probably 30 minutes tops. All right, there you go. Take care. Bye.